What's Hunter Biden afraid of? That's the question you're about to watch GOP Rep Mike Waltz ask out loud, and a question we all want to know the answer to. And stay tuned after the clip because I'll break down the exact scandals Hunter Biden needs to be held accountable for. This is Andy with TrendingPolitics.com. Hit like, subscribe, and let's dive into it.
This is an incredible first hearing with this committee.
Welcome to the Oversight Committee.
It was, but this was entirely predictable. I think what we were going to hear and see today. We saw that Hunter came and staged a PR stunt with my friend from Florida, Mr. Moskowitz. That was clearly organized and recognized. But what I'm hearing from the ranking member and his colleagues that claim that transcripts are subject to, quote, partisan and twisted leaks and distortions is incredibly rich. Let's talk about calling the kettle black first. The country suffered through an entire impeachment proceeding of a president of the United States because of a false dossier in a SCIF, a compartmented facility where every hearing and every transcript started with, this is an unclassified proceeding, then to have it selectively leaked and lied to the American people, to the great damage to this nation, but then bring it to this committee because I'm new. I watched yesterday as committee Democrats continued to spin false narratives, several of which went out just yesterday as interviews were ongoing with Hunter Biden's art dealer, which is rich in and of itself, that Congressman Golden on the other side of the aisle went to the press during the interviews and spun a narrative while it was going on, but he conveniently omitted that 70% of the art buyers were Biden donors. So we can go down the line and talk about spin.
That's not the facts.
But the other thing that we're hearing today, well, member so-and-so, Congressman so-and-so, Congressman Jordan, they didn't comply with their subpoenas. But let's have a quick lesson on the Constitution. Article 1, Section 6 of the Constitution, the Speech and Debate Clause, essentially protects all of us from abiding by each other's subpoenas. Otherwise, this body would do nothing but subpoena each other. So I would encourage my colleagues to look up Article 1, Section 6 and look at the case law of the Speech and Debate Clause and why my colleagues rightfully did not abide by that subpoenas. But let's talk about precedent for a moment of a president's son abiding by lawful subpoenas of the Congress. Donald Trump Jr. came before this body. He came before the House Intelligence Committee. He came before the House Judiciary Committee. He came before the Senate Intelligence Committee twice. He came before the so-called Jan 6 Committee, all behind closed doors where lawyers can sit down, both sides of the aisle, and have a conversation, go through documents, all under oath, which is the precedent for any committee. Don Jr. came before committees and came before this body 5 times behind closed doors. What is Hunter Biden afraid of? What won't he do? And Ranking Member Raskin, you're going to reap what you sow, my friend. You insisted on depositions for those who appeared before the Jan 6 committee when Steve Bannon agreed to testify publicly. You argued, sir, that he should have to sit for a closed-door interview, just like every other witness. Quote, the way we have treated every single witness is the same. They come in behind closed doors. They talk to the committee there. You said on an interview in front of CBS in 2022, but now that Republicans are doing the same process, following House rules, doing the investigating, somehow Hunter Biden, because he's a Biden, should be held to a different standard. At the end of the day, we had a government official and the President of the United States, a vice president, set up 30 shell companies. Why? What product did those companies sell? Nothing. Vice President Biden was charged with 2 countries in his portfolio, China and Ukraine. While the vice president, his son, traveled on official business on Air Force Two and received massive monetary contributions afterwards. We have laws in place colleagues, that prevent foreign powers from influencing government officials. Were policies changed as a result of the dinners, the calls, the text messages that we know President Biden engaged in through his son? We have a duty to get to the bottom of it. We will reference this contempt, and we will see if the Attorney General will uphold a fair standard of the law.
The time's up, Mr. Chairman.
And prosecute Hunter Biden. Thank you.
All right, so let's get real specific about why Hunter Biden absolutely must be held accountable. First of all, Burisma. Hunter Biden landed this cushy spot on the board of a Ukrainian energy firm, pulling in around $50K a month, despite knowing next to nothing about energy. The accusations here are straightforward. Hunter used his dad's position as vice president to protect Burisma from legal troubles in Ukraine. The laptop emails clearly show Hunter trying to cash in favors from U.S. officials to benefit Burisma's subsidiaries internationally. And speaking of that laptop, this scandal is huge. Initially brushed off by media as, and Democrats as Russian disinformation, it's been totally authenticated now. We're talking these explicit pictures, proof of serious drug use, personal messages about financial arrangements that directly involve Joe Biden, and plenty of sketchy deals with foreign businesses. It's packed with evidence, real evidence, pointing towards corruption, serious conflicts of interest, and activities that could compromise national security. And don't forget about the cocaine incident at the White House. Now, given Hunter's well-known history of drug issues, a mysterious bag of cocaine shows up and it naturally raises eyebrows. And sure, the official investigation didn't pinpoint an owner, but many Americans, including me, think it smells fishy, and the lack of transparency isn't helping. Then there's Hunter's questionable financial relationships with China and Romania, questionable at best. Documents reveal large sums of money flowing to Hunter and his associates right after they met with then Vice President Joe Biden. And if that doesn't scream pay for access, I don't know what does. And we can't overlook Hunter's gun scandal. He tried to score this sweetheart deal on a plea deal on charges of tax evasion and illegally possessing a firearm, a deal so blatantly lenient that even the judge rejected it outright. The judge saw right through it and refused to let Hunter skate by without proper accountability, which still hasn't happened. And let's add more. There's Hunter's involvement in investment firm dealings tied to China's state-owned enterprises, his alleged connections with individuals linked to foreign intelligence, and even accusations about failing to register as a foreign agent while he was engaging in international lobbying efforts. So the bottom line here is Hunter Biden's scandals aren't minor slip-ups. They're serious. They deserve serious accountability. Americans deserve better than shady deals, hidden emails, and elite privilege. And if you agree it's time for real accountability and honesty, then join us. Like this video, subscribe, and share the word. This is Andy with TrendingPolitics.com, and together, we're not just asking questions, we're demanding answers.